Hello, I am Kayla Keck and I am so excited that you are my new customer. I'm so stoked to teach you how to use your makeup. I hope you are excited too. When your makeup comes in the mail in just a few days, hopefully, it is all going to come in little tins just like this, and then you're gonna have the palette of your choice. If you went with my recommendation and got the palette 12, it'll be this size, smaller or larger, up from there, it's up to you, but your palettes or your makeup will look just like this, and you just slide that lid off. You're going to open your beautiful palette and you're going to organize it however you choose. Here's what I recommend. Pop that makeup in just like that. Make sure it's pushed down. That way it won't fall out, okay? So once it's pushed down, make sure that it's nice and even. And you're gonna keep these little lids because you can use them to just gently pop up the corner like that, take it out, and replace it. So when that runs out, or if you want to switch up your colors, you can do that anytime. You can also use your finger or bobby pin. It's up to you. But these are helpful, so you're going to want to hang on to them. In this one, I'm going to show you how you can use the 3D brush. This is a popular one that gets recommended all the time, and I get a lot of questions about it. So this is how you can just use this to do your makeup. On top, I have my brightest shade, which is my concealer, a couple of main shades that I go between, my bronzer, my contour, and illuminator, and then on the bottom, I have 2 different lip and cheeks, a handful of eyeshadows, my eyebrow color, and then a brush tile for when I'm cleaning my brushes between eyeshadow looks. Okay, so that's how I organize my palette. Feel free to organize yours however you'd like. I do like separating my creams and powders as much as possible, but when there's extra stuff to have, like these creams down here, you just do what you can. Okay, so this is how I get started. I always start with my contour. So I'm gonna use this big fluffy end of the detail brush into my contour and just get a little bit. And then I'm just gonna press that makeup right there to make my shadow. Okay, you don't need a lot. Once your color match is correct, this color should just go on lightly, just like that, and be the color that you want it to be. If you feel like you're having to really dig in your palette, let me know. Let's make sure we have the right brush for you. Let's make sure we have the right color match for you and go from there, okay? So I'm just going to blend this as I go. I'm gonna kind of blend up and use a motion called stippling where I'm pushing that contour up and into that bone and then just blending it out. Okay, I'm not gonna blend a ton. I wanna make sure I blend at the end so that I'm not over blending and don't have to go back in and add extra makeup. Extra makeup is what leads to cakiness, which we don't want. Okay, so I just ran that contour right on kind of under the jaw. And then just brought it down like that to add a little bit of shadow and distinction. Don't worry, we'll go back and fix that up later. This end that comes to a point, I'm gonna switch around and go into my brightest shade. So that is going to go right there. There, super light and easy. Under the eye. This is kind of a bigger end, so it might make a bigger splash than you want, and that's fine. Just use your finger if you'd rather have something smaller, or use the smaller end of the detail brush. I like the detail brush for that reason because it makes it nice and small. You can draw a nice little line down the middle. Don't have to be too fancy, it's okay. And then we're gonna go into our main shade. I may have recommended a couple to you. If you have a couple, you know where to use them, or you can just ask me, I can help you. So I'm just using that smaller pointed side. Again, I put a little bit between those 2 bright dots under my eye. I put a little bit between those 2 bright dots under my eye and then just kind of work that makeup in. I'm not filling in every spot. I'm just making sure that I have makeup in those areas that are open, and then I'm gonna go back in and blend. Okay, so that's the basic of highlight, contour, and brightener and in between, okay? I'm going to go back to the small side and just press that makeup in where I want it, starting going from lightest to darkest. That is my general rule of thumb, go from lightest to darkest. It's okay if you forget, you do you, but lightest to darkest tends to work out better. And then we're just gonna go back in and fix it up. As you get used to this, you're gonna find what routine works best for you. If you have any questions at any time about your colors or how it's laying on your skin, or if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I don't want you to feel lost ever with your makeup. I run a very large business, but I'm always here for you. Okay. Around your eyes, you can also use your finger and just kind of gently press. The warmth of your finger is going to allow the makeup to warm up a little bit. So if you get any movement during the day or any creasing, this is an easy trick to fix that. Okay. Same side, I'm just gonna go in and make sure that that contour is fully blended, pressing, not swiping. Make sure there's no line up here, we don't want that. Make sure that I've blended my contour fully back into my hairline so I don't have like a weird bright mark in between my contour. We don't want that either. And then again, just kind of blending up, up, up and pressing. It looks like I'm swooping, but I'm really pressing. And then don't forget to come back down here and blend that out. Okay. I tend to do my bronzer and my blush with the blush and bronzer brush. So I always recommend 2 brushes, either the detail brush or the 3D brush, and then I always recommend the blush and bronzer brush. It's just one of my favorites for a lot of reasons. I highly recommend bronzer, and I'll show you why. You're going to use the big fluffy end, add a little bit of bronzer onto that brush, and then you're just gonna dust it, just like this, over the forehead. And then when I come to the cheeks, I almost kind of let my hand kind of hover, if you will, over my cheek and just barely let it kiss that cheekbone. So I'm not like smushing it onto my face. It's just ever so slightly dusting it to add a little bit of warmth and blend. Okay, once I've put all of my bronzer on, I use the remnants to just kind of dust across my cheek, down my nose, where the sun would normally hit, and kind of give that like, not like you were in a tanning salon, but just a little bit of a sun-kissed glow. And then I blend it around the bottom of my cheek and kind of down too, just to kind of pull that warmth together. So you can see warmer, not as warm, right? Both looks are beautiful. Do whatever works best for you, but I like the bronzer because it pulls things together. Also, it helps if you are headed into summer and you're getting a little bit darker, but you're not ready for a darker shade yet. This can really help you kind of blend those colors and just get a little bit warmer until you're ready to go to a darker shade. Okay, our skin doesn't just change from winter to summer. It usually has a warming and cooling period, or you go on vacation and you get super tan, so this is nice to have in your back pocket. Or if you're wearing something that's lighter and you just want something a little more tan, you know, there's so many options. Okay, so that is bronzer. Then I end with my lip and cheek. Again, I like to use the blush and bronzer brush when I do that. You can use your 3D brush, and I'll show you both of those, what they look like. Let's do sandstone. So just so you guys can see it, I'm gonna use the bigger end, kind of just dot that on the outer part of my cheek, and then I'm just gonna blend. You do not need a lot of lip and cheek color, especially if you end up getting a darker matte. Teeny, like a dot, and then just blend. If you want more, you can always add more, but look, that was nothing. Nothing. And when I say dot, I'm literally talking that much. That is all you need. Okay, so watch me blend that out. Some of the lighter colors you might want a little bit more, just depending on how much pop you want, but I mean, you really don't need a lot. These colors pack such a beautiful punch, and then they blend out flawlessly. So less is more with everything that Saint does. Oh, I dropped my towel. Less is more with everything that Saint does. So these tins should last you for a very long time. If you have any questions, or if you're going through them really quickly, please let me know. I'm happy to help make sure we have the right brushes for you and the right techniques so that your makeup is lasting as long as possible. I don't want you to have to buy makeup unless you really need to. Less is more. Okay, so that is cheeks. And then we end with lips. You can use a brush, you can use your finger, it is totally up to you. Oh, and then the last thing is contouring your nose. Totally optional. You can either use the brush. I don't normally use this one to contour my nose, but you can. I like the detail brush or my finger. So I'll just show you with my finger, since that's not the brush that we're using right now. You can literally just put a little bit on your finger just like that. Here, I'll go this way so you can see better. Okay, just really on either side of the nose, and then you're gonna go into your brightest bright highlight and just put a lightest highlight, and then just put it right down the nose just like that. And then you can go back and use that same brush, and you're just gonna gently blend down and kind of blend that contour out. Okay, and if you feel like you need more brightening or more contour, you can always go back and add that. Nose contour is something that takes a little bit of time and a little bit of finesse, but you'll get it in time if it's something you want in your makeup routine. Okay, that is everything. That is how you use the 3D brush. That is how you set up your palette. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am happy to help. You are no longer lost with makeup. You're no longer on your own. Please reach out to me, DM, email, text message, whatever is working best for you. And I hope you love your makeup.